Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Burned Out, Exhausted, and Stuck, and how to overcome that. So, I am Christy with Platinum Performance, and this is my very first LinkedIn Live event. And I plan for this to be the first of many events to help bring resources and information to folks just like you. So, whether you're watching me live or you are watching the recording, I just want to take a second to say I so appreciate your participation and welcome any questions or comments that you have about these topics. So um, please let me hear from you. So let me help manage expectations about the flow of today's event. First of all, like I said, I would love to hear your questions and your comments. So if you're able, you can use the chat or you can DM me and send me your questions. And I promise I will answer all your questions about today's topics. So today I'm going to be diving into burnout, starting with the definitions of burnout, but also behavior science, because I get lots of questions about what do I mean by that. I want you to know the framework that I'm speaking from. So we'll talk about the underlying habit loops that may be driving this burnout behavior of ours and how to recognize them. And I'm going to give you one practical tool to help you overcome and move forward. So, my long term vision for this group is that we can grow. Let's grow a true community of teaching and learning where we can help each other grow and thrive, right? So, if you've clicked into this live, chances are you've been feeling it. Maybe you're exhausted, you're always on, always performing, and yet somehow you still feel not seen, not recognized. It's like you're giving and giving and giving, but nothing ever feels like that was enough. So I want you to hear this right now. That is not weakness, that's burnout. And burnout isn't just a physical thing, it's not just being tired, it's also at an emotional level, like soul deep. It's the disconnection from yourself. It's that mind body disconnect. And that's why no amount of sleep, no amount of coffee, no amount of time off really fixes it. So today in our time together, I'm going to give you a new lens for why exhaustion and stuckness always travel together, and one practical tool that you can use immediately to break the cycle. By the end, you'll see how awareness creates choice and how choice creates freedom. So, let me start with a staggering fact. 2 out of 3 professionals today report burnout. Think about that for a minute. 2 out of 3. That's a lot, guys. And burnout, like I said, it's not just fatigue. It's not feeling just tired. It's draining of your energy, motivation, and maybe even hope. It's that hollow feeling when you're just running on fumes, yet still hitting the gas. Burnout is like living in a fog. And if you don't understand what's running that show underneath, the fog just gets thicker and thicker. So let me start with a definition of behavior science and how that connects to consciousness work. So bear with me, this is important. When I say behavior science, I mean the study of why people do what they do. It looks at the patterns behind our actions, what we pay attention to, and what we avoid. It's the rewards we chase and also the comfort that we fall back on. But here's the deeper layer. From a consciousness lens, Burnout is also about that disconnection, forgetting who you are outside of your role. And I know that one firsthand. I gave so much in my leadership role that I kind of disappeared into it. I really lost my identity outside of that job title until I realized this: energy isn't infinite unless it's aligned. And this is why identity is such a critical part of any habit or behavior change. How we see ourselves influences the choices that we make. How we talk to ourselves sets the tone for what feels possible. The way that we self identify determines whether we reinforce old loops or we create new ones. If I keep telling myself things like, I'm someone who needs to prove my worth through productivity, through performance, I'm probably going to keep saying yes, maybe till I collapse, right? But if I shift my identity and I think I am a leader who protects my energy so that I can serve with clarity, my habits will naturally begin to align with that truth. So, reconnection starts with self awareness. Ask yourself, what would I choose if I weren't afraid? That one question brings you back to the center and lets you lead from clarity, not exhaustion. So, I'll be diving deeper into this identity piece in my next live. But today, I want to give you that practical tool that helps you catch catch the old loops in real time. And let me just say, I know this information not just from the research and as my role as an educational leader, which required me to know all about behavioral science, but also from my own personal life. I mean, it was just a few months ago that I stepped away from that 30-year career in educational leadership, and it was daunting. My entire identity, like I just spoke about, was wrapped up in being the one who was holding it all together. And I fixed the most mind boggling problems that you could even possibly dream up. On the outside, it looked like success, right? But on the inside, I was exhausted, unseen, or at least felt unseen, and kind of quietly unraveling. And what got me through that huge life transition and what I continue to lean on right now is the very moment of rebuilding. And it's the exact same concepts that I'm going to share with you right now. So, behavioral science gave me the lens to understand my behavior patterns, and consciousness work gave me the courage to step into something new, to build something new. All right, so let's dive in. All right, here's why exhaustion and stuckness, they go hand in hand. Stuckness feels like pressing on the gas pedal, but the wheels just keep spinning. You're working harder, but you're not actually like moving forward. So burnout fuels that stuckness because it's being driven by these hidden loops. Behavior science gives us the clearest lens on those loops. And there are four main drivers behind why we do what we do. And here's the secret sauce, folks. Listen up. Think of these as the four root causes or functions of any human behavior. Any human behavior. They include one, attention. People do things for attention, which is a basic human need, right? To be seen, heard, included. Second reason, to escape or avoid. People engage in escape and avoidance behaviors when things are just uncomfortable or just merely like unwanted. The third reason we do things are tangible things. We engage in behaviors to get the things that we want. We do X to get Y. The fourth reason that we do things is because it feels good, sensory. Humans engage in behaviors because, simply it feels good. So let me apply those four root causes of any human behavior to burnout behaviors. So the attention one, saying yes or overperforming, so people will like you, or you finally, get that promotion or the recognition that you're seeking. What about escape as a burnout? Avoiding conflict, avoiding stress or hard task, ducking out, even if it's just sort of unconsciously. The third reason, a tangible reward, chasing the money, the title, the recognition that feels like the proof that you're enough. And the last reason, comfort, soothing with habits like scrolling, snacking, binging shows. And think of all behavior as communication, and think about what is your own behavior telling you, and keep that in mind. Any behavior, whether it's a good behavior or it's negative, if it gets reinforced, it will continue. So when those loops are running on autopilot, you're not leading, you're being led. And that is why, my friends, you end up exhausted and trapped. So, how do you break free? It happens at what I call the pause point. It's that tiny space between the urge and the choice. And that's where you can reclaim your energy. So here's the tool. First, you got to be able to name the loop. Say to yourself, I'm about to say yes so that they'll be happy with me. That's awareness. It's catching the old story before it takes the wheel. Then take a breath. And that's presence, creating the space between the stimulus and the response. It also tells your nervous system that you're safe. Third, ask, what would I do if I wasn't afraid, or if I was fully aware of the story that I'm telling myself right now? That's sovereignty. It's shifting out of survival and into conscious leadership. This isn't about being perfect. It's about practicing awareness in the moment. Every time that you pause, you weaken that loop and you strengthen your clarity. I would love to make this real, and I would love to be able to see your comments in real time. I don't know that that's possible on the platform that I'm streaming on, but I do want you to think about what habit loop is showing up for you. What's driving your burnout behavior? Are you seeking attention? Are you trying to escape, avoid? Is it tangible that you're looking for? Or are you just trying to feel better? If you can learn to identify that underlying loop of what it is that's driving your burnout behavior, because I promise you, it is not your schedule that's doing it. It's you, and it's one of those loops. If you can learn to just practice that pause and identify what is it that is driving me in those moments to do these behaviors that are leading to burnout, practice the pause. Just work on that for a good week or two of being able to catch it. And then reinforce that. Because remember what I said, behavior that gets reinforced will continue. So in this next week or two before we meet, if you can learn to catch yourself in those old loops, name it, I just did X. Then in your head, yay, yourself, I did it, I caught it. Or tell a friend or a colleague that you're going to be working on this so you can share those successes. That is a huge win for you. And the more you practice this on a daily basis, the better you're going to get at catching those loops, catching the need to fill that need of needing to be seen, needing to avoid, needing the tangible, or needing to feel better. That's such a huge leap to be able to identify that story that you're telling yourself. Pause in that moment and then be able to act in a way that better serves you. So that's it for today. I look forward to our next time together, and hope that we can both grow and learn in this space. I look forward to finding platforms that I can see your faces and be able to interact with you a little bit better. So look forward to that. I'd love to hear your feedback on what might work for you. I would love to hear your feedback on what your questions were after listening today. One of my favorite things to do with clients is listen to the different scenarios at work, things that are just ongoing challenges, things that were a surprise, that went a little bit sideways during the week, so that I can kind of help you almost do like a work, almost autopsy from a behavior science lens, help you understand your own behavior and the behavior of your coworkers. I hope this helped get you started to overcoming burnout. I hope this tool will work for you. Please let me hear from you. I would love to hear from you in my direct messages to help you navigate this. And I'd love to answer your questions. So that's all for today. I'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Have a great weekend.